Welcome back. It's November 30th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Central time. If you're watching live, we got a hell of a show for you today. We're going to dig all into Lefty Rosenthal. So, welcome back, guys. It's Mob Vlog. Red Wemette, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling great.
Excellent. It's a good
nice
day.
Warm weather.
It's good to see you again. And today we are going to talk about Frank Lefty Rosenthal. We just this month was the his wife Jerry McGee's death anniversary on November 9th. I believe 40 years.
You just reinvented the dictionary, death anniversary.
It's a death anniversary. You don't want to say it's an anniversary when somebody died, because it's not really. Is it an anniversary something you celebrate? A death anniversary, you really don't celebrate a death anniversary.
You recognize it.
Am I making up words? Is that what's going on, Red?
That's what I'm not familiar with that one, not even in the Urban Dictionary.
People from Chicago do that a lot. I'm telling you. Death anniversary. So it's what we're gonna be digging into. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Frank Cersei, right? That's Cersei, I think. Don Ciccio, it's good to see you. Tony Johnson. We got who else is in here? Holman Sanders, Chain Weaver, Frank Ferraro, Joseph Cullotta. I did call Randy, the producer, and I left her a message, Joe. I've not heard back from her, but I called her about 30 minutes after we talked the other day is when I did. Yes, Sonny Zarro, I did just finish my keto lunch. Red, can you attest to that? That's why we started.
Yes, I can. I watched you eat it.
I was my keto breakfast today. It sure was. I had an egg witch. Anyway, so let's get into this. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everybody. I just saw Julie M. Good to see you. Brady, it's good to see you. Adam Cuss. It's hey, everybody. All right, so let's jump into the meat of this thing, because honestly, we want to talk about Lefty Rosenthal today. And we have some clips. We have some photos to put up and to talk about. His code name, Red?
Achilles, like Achilles heel.
Achilles. And you know, when I first heard about this, was through Dennis Arnoldy, and he's a consultant for the Mob Tour. And Dennis, Special Agent Arnoldy, was told when the FBI declassified that information. I want to say it was in 13 or 14 that was declassified. And he called Robert Allen at the time and said, I can finally tell you something. We've wanted to tell you this since day one. What's that? Lefty's code name was Achilles. What do you mean his code name was Achilles? What the hell does that mean? He was, what are you trying to say? He's an informant? From day one. What? Why would he be an informant? Why would Lefty Rosenthal become an informant? That's not the question. The question is, why wouldn't he? He's an odds maker. They give an odds maker the opportunity to play both sides.
So he did. He played both sides.
He could come out on top either way.
He was arrested in Miami for shaving points on a game between a New England college ball team and North Carolina. And at that point, instead of getting a prison sentence, he wound up becoming an informant. So he was an informant before he went to Las Vegas.
Okay. So what you're saying is that the FBI rolled this guy back in Florida?
Way back, 1965. 64,
Miami.
65.
All right. So he was in Miami in 61. In 63 is when he pled no contest to allegedly bribing a New York University player to shave points for a college basketball game in North Carolina.
That's the one.
Okay. He was also the suspect in multiple businesses and car bombings in the greater Miami area during the 60s. It was at that time that the FBI opened an ongoing case file on Rosenthal, which amassed 300 pages. Doesn't say that they rolled him, but then again, but look at this document. And where was this from again?
They're not going to tell you. Yes, the Chicago outfit, current, past, and present news. I believe that's the name of it in Facebook.
No, it's olden news, isn't it? Old. You keep saying it's current. That sends you to the other room.
Okay.
That's the other room that's up there. No, it's old and present news, I think, is what the room is. Anyway, here it is. This is an FBI document, and here's what it says. Regarding Miami Airtel to the Bureau dated March 6, 1978, Bureau teletype to Miami dated June 7th, 78. For information of receiving offices, an informant, code name Achilles, whose identity is known to FBI headquarters, has identified Frank Schweiss and Chicago LCN member Vincent Joseph Insero, assisted by at least two other unknown individuals as murderers, page 2, of John Roselli. This informant occupies a position of leadership within the national organized crime hierarchy. Disclosure of this information outside the FBI would seriously jeopardize the safety of the source. Any questions concerning Achilles or information supplied by him should be directed to FBI headquarters attention, organized crime section. This is pretty interesting.
I thought it was very interesting because I've been talking about Johnny Roselli's murder for over 25 years.
Okay.
And that Frank Schweiss did it. And a lot of people say, Red's just making it up. And the truth of the matter was, this is proof that what I said was known by the FBI.
Okay, Slapsy Maxi. I'm looking at comments. Achilles could have easily been Alan Glick, Jerry Rosenthal, or the Don Rickles characters.
Not in Miami. Not in Miami.
Slapsy Maxi. We got this information from an FBI agent. I'm sure it's not incorrect. Just putting that out there. So amazing that he kept it under wraps that long. It is amazing. And now, why didn't here's the next question. So the car bomb went off in 1982, and that's when he decided to leave Vegas. So let's see.
Good reason.
October 4th, 82. There you go. That's the date, October 4th, 82. I knew it was 82. I didn't have the date locked in. So the car bomb went off under his car, and they say in the movie, and they also say in the book Casino, they say, here's what happened. Now let's talk about this car bomb issue for a second. Here's the thing, folks. Was there a metal plate under the car? Number one's the question. Number two, why would the metal plate be under the car? Everybody says, hey, chatting with Stacks, Bill Stacks is out there. How's it going, buddy? Would it stabilize it because there was a torque problem in the engine? This is what Red thought originally when we started thinking about this last night.
I did, yeah.
And
I
it
had
lifted
a
up.
75 Eldorado.
And what was the issue you had with it? You said
the torque, because it was front wheel drive, like a Tornado. When you'd hit the gas pedal real hard, it would torque, and one of the front wheels would come up, and you'd have like one wheel drive. So it needed something to counterweight the balance of when you took off. That was a
So the
500
front end
cubic
would lift up.
engine.
Okay. So, be safe out there, Anthony DiMartini. So it would lift up.
Oh, he's safe on the base.
I'm sure. Okay, Sunny Zaro. Yes. See, now I'm glad that you guys are chiming in on this. Yes, metal plate, muffler, the heating, the floorboard. Metal plate, muffler, the heating, the floorboard. Okay. It was standard on an Eldorado. Don's cheat. See, it's a balancing problem. Okay. Here's the other thing I heard.
And Tornado. Anything that was front wheel drive GM.
I want to know how big that steel plate is too, Bill. All right. So listen to this. Well, first thing that Red and I do was, all right, information for the movie came from the book. Had to.
Hollywood.
So where did Nick Pileggi come up with this? No, where did Pileggi come up with this? Listen to this. This is out of the book. The explosion was so intense and loud, according to Barbara Lowry, who lived across the street, that it, quote, sounded like a train fell through my roof. Lori Wardle, the cashier at Marie Callender's across from Tony Roma, said, I ran outside and the parking lot was mobbed with cars. Rosenthal's car shot right up in the air and flames went about 2 stories into the air. It was a huge explosion. It blew the windows out the back of the restaurant. A local TV news crew was having coffee nearby when the explosion occurred, and they took pictures of Rosenthal minutes after the explosion, wandering dazedly around the parking lot and holding a handkerchief to his bleeding head. He was also bleeding from cuts on his left arm and leg. He could be seen asking Marty Kane and other pals to call his doctor and make sure his children were assured that he was okay, and they were brought to the hospital. Alcohol tobacco agent in charge, John Rice, investigating the case with Metro, said Lefty, quote, was very fortunate to have survived the blast. Quote, 99 times out of 100, a bomb like that should have killed him, Rice said, except in the model of an Eldorado Cadillac, the manufacturer installed a steel plate beneath the driver's seat for added stability. It was that steel plate under the driver's seat that saved Lefty's life. The steel plate deflected the bomb upwards and towards the rear of the car instead of up and forward. He should have changed his name from Lefty to Lucky. So that's the information. Here, let's check this out. Okay, so we're gonna get into this because we Red and I dug all night last night about this, didn't we? It's true.
Yes.
True story. Here he is. This is the
3
footage.
o'clock in the morning.
Wandering dazedly around in the parking lot. Here it is. Watch. Look at the cuts on his head. They said it had handkerchief, hurt rib, little burn on his arm, burn on his forehead. I'll take that for having dynamite go 6 inches off underneath of your ass. I mean, honestly, look at the car. Is that crazy? Look at it. It's nuts.
Well, they said it was in the gas tank.
Even the one next to it, even the car next to it got it. And look at this picture right here. Oh, that's it. Okay. So now this is what Lefty Rosenthal remembered about that, about the car bomb. This is from a John Drummond interview, by the way, guys. So here it is. Watch.
I don't recall the initial explosion.
Hold on, let's back up at the beginning. Okay.
I don't recall the initial explosion.
Okay. And for some reason, I am having an issue with this, guys. Sorry. Let's do it a different way. I have a backup. Always do. You got to have backups. Here we go.
I don't recall the initial explosion. I never heard anything. What I did see was fire shooting up from the floor onto the windshield. At the time, I was probably semi-conscious. My recollection was that my car was on fire, and flames were shooting up from the left to the right and in front of me. And I attempted to open the door with my left hand. And as I did, the fires were too intense, the heat was so intense that I had to pull my left hand back. I then made one gesture with my right arm towards the lever of the door side, the driver's side, and fortunately pushed it through my shoulder against the door, and for some reason it popped open, and I was able to tumble out of the car onto the street afire.
There you go. So,
Out of his own mouth.
by the way, on the Vegas mob tour, we sit in the exact spot that Lefty sat in when the car goes off while we watch that little clip that we just played of Lefty explaining what he saw. So that is on the Vegas mob tour. And we're opening the Vegas crime tour, which is completely different than the mob tour, different places, but we do go past the filming location from the movie Casino on that tour. And if you guys remember, they didn't film it at Tony Roma's in town. They made it look like Tony Roma's, but it was actually at the Main Street Station parking lot with the California in the background.
It was amateur night, you could tell.
Whoever it was, they put the dynamite under the passenger side. But what they didn't know, what nobody outside the factory knew, was that that model car was made with a metal plate under the driver's seat. It's the only thing that saved my life.
Okay, so that building in the background, what you're seeing there is the California. It's still there. They haven't torn that one down yet. So it's still there. If you guys are in town though, and you do get a chance to come out and do the Vegas Mob Tour, it's a lot of fun. Use the promo code MOBVLOG. Join us for the Vegas Mob Tour. Experience Sin City's dark past. Learn how Bugsy Siegel built the Flamingo. Find out who killed him and why. Hear who Jimmy Hoffa supplied money to back in the 50s. Visit the actual home used in the 1995 blockbuster movie Casino. And other filming locations as well. See the real jewelry store where Frank Cullotta and his crew were busted. Sit in the exact spot where Frank Lefty Rosenthal's car was bombed back in '82. View never-before-seen footage of Frank Cullotta telling personal stories about Tony Spilatro, Joey the Clown Lombardo, and the Hole-in-the-Wall Gang.
This house here used to be Tony's house. It's almost like a peach color. It was brown then. The only thing changed is the driveway.
Here's an offer you can't refuse. Upgrade to the Untouchables experience. Following the tour, you'll enjoy a 3-course dinner at the Tuscany Gardens, and then VIP seating for the long-running hit, The Rat Pack is Back show. Experience Vegas the way it was meant to be. All right, so a lot of thank you very much. Appreciate that. A lot of you guys have some comments. So let's start here. Don Cheech. Kansas City. Could have been Kansas City. You got Nick Sevilla over there.
I believe it was.
Maybe there was a leak. Maybe they found out.
According to Gary Jenkins and his audio tapes, I forget the name of the guy, Augusto or something like that, had a beef, and he said that he thought he was an informant. They suspected that he was an informant.
Okay.
That was on a tape that Gary Jenkins had.
Now, there was also that tape of Ballestieri up in Milwaukee saying to his son that he was going to take pleasure in getting rid of Lefty. So there's that option as well. The theory that it could have been.
Nobody will really know.
But you know what? Nobody's gonna go, oh yeah, I'm the one who tried to do it and messed it up. Who's gonna brag about that? You know, if they blew him up, then maybe somebody would come, hey, I'm the one who did it. You know, you're gonna want to brag about it. You know, that's how they find out. So I don't know. I don't know. Joe Cullotta, it's fate. That's why he lived. I got it. So all right.
I agree, Joe.
Back to the steel plate. How big is it? How heavy is it? So I went and I did some digging. And this morning, after we dug all night about this and looked up different things, this morning I found a video. And it's a video called, it's like Mythbusters, okay? It's a show like Mythbusters, but it's about cars. And they asked the question, what about this car? So they went and got one. And they pulled the seats out, the front seats. And they pulled the carpeting out. And they drilled holes through the floor to see where that metal plate was located. Guess what they found? Brad?
I think they found the one piece of
They found no metal plate, Red.
The catalytic converter. The catalytic converter.
Which I heard a theory that the plate was under the car because it was a heat shield for that catalytic converter. Somebody told me that once. And I thought, wow, is that?
Well, that's not very thick. That's very thin.
That's what I mean. It's not big at all. It just isn't. It just isn't. Look at this picture. This is a picture of the underside of an 81 Cadillac Eldorado. There's no metal plate.
Well, there is around the drive shaft there.
Yeah, there's a little bit. And is that between the gas tank? Is this the gas tank in the back?
Yeah.
So this is up front, then down further down. See on the left side, that's the driver's side. And you see that metal chunk down there? That's the only metal thing under the driver's seat. Maybe that's what they were talking about.
It's not specific. It's down the center. It's not even down the driver's seat. It's down the center.
That's the catalytic
Half of it's on
converter.
the passenger.
I know nothing about cars, man. So you gotta, I'm just gonna say. I mean, anyway, this show went into it. You guys want to see that show? The link is in the description of this video. If you guys want to go watch them tear up the 81 car and drill holes and look for a steel plate, it's there. So, John McShane, yes, it was at Tony Roma's. Glad that you're enjoying the videos, and they shared a parking lot with Tony.
A very good comment here. Automobile said about this picture, and I never noticed it. He did. There is no drive shaft on an Eldorado.
There's
no drive shaft. This is not.
So what is that? So what is this? This is the exhaust pipe that we're looking at?
That is not an Eldorado.
That's not. Is that the exhaust we're looking at?
That is not an Eldorado. There is no drive shaft on an Eldorado.
Somebody says that picture's from a Chrysler.
Probably.
Okay. All right. Got to be careful what you look at on the internet.
Oh, it's true. I saw it on the internet.
I'm telling you, man, it's just this metal plate thing is everywhere, yet it supposedly doesn't even exist on the car, is what I'm getting at. So, yeah, it even says it on the Wikipedia page.
That's exhaust.
A stout metal plate under the driver's seat installed by General Motors on all Eldorado models to correct the balancing problem. Again, see? What's the deal with this? There is no metal plate. I'm going to get in trouble.
I never got underneath mine to look.
Well, at the time you had it, you were this whole urban legend didn't start until the 90s when the movie came out and the book came out.
I would say so, yeah.
Nobody cared about it because it was so. I honest to God, man, everything that I've found, bombing, metal plate. Oh, okay. Again, listen. Even the mob museum out here says that there was a metal plate underneath the car. That's when I realized
it would make sense that they'd have something to balance it out because it did torque to the right. The engine did torque to the right. If you're sitting in the seat, the engine torqued to the right.
So So 2 men assisted him as the car's tank ignited, causing an explosion, quote, like an atom bomb. Rosenthal saw the 4,000-pound Cadillac Eldorado jump a few feet, flames shooting through the roof 2 stories high. And again, 1981 had a steel stabilizing plate beneath the driver's seat, which deflected the blast. I get it. You guys, if you guys have, we got 23 comments I haven't seen here. Jimbo, where the mob at in the Chi-Town right now? Yeah, there really isn't. Sounds like Lefty got out of the car before it exploded. Exactly what it sounds like. Was the metal plate inside of the car? Bob Smith, I'm telling you, they pull up all the carpeting in this, and it's something else had to have happened. I'm telling you, it's Bobby Bag of Donuts said they put the dynamite too far back, but now he's getting exhausted. So that he's getting exhausted, Red. Exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you actually think the FBI could afford to pay someone like Lefty to make him flip? No way.
They didn't pay him to flip. They got him out of a gambling case that he would have gone to prison over.
Why didn't? Okay, so he grabs his kids and he leaves town. He grabbed his kids and he left town and went to California and sat there for a couple of years and then moved to Boca Raton, Florida, where he lived in the Fontainebleau till he died in 2008 at the age of 78. Why didn't they go to Boca Raton, Florida and kill him?
I don't think there was anybody left to kill him. They all went to prison.
And what about in the 80s? In the 80s, they could have went and got him.
And he was working. He was working with in that 302. He's talking about working with. At the time that I met him or saw him, he was working at the Hard Rock Casino Cafe as an advisor, a handicapper. That's when he lived in Boca, and then he moved. Then he moved south to the Fontainebleau. He had an estate, a 5-acre estate in Boca, and when his kids died or moved on, they didn't die. He sold the place and he went to the Fontainebleau then. And then he bought a big condo. It was a huge condo. That's where John Drummond interviewed him at. In Miami.
Bob Custer. Bob, yes, my understanding is that Lefty started the sports books inside the casinos. Before that, they were outdoor. They were their own buildings, their own establishments on the strip.
Like bookmakers.
And he was also the first to hire female croupiers.
Dealers.
Croupier, yeah. But first to do that, from my understanding. Now, I don't know if I just read that in the book, and
that's accurate. That's accurate, Adam.
It is, right? I mean, that's something that I've been told this for a long time. So
in the 60s, there were never women as dealers.
Right.
They just didn't have
all male, right?
Male dominated.
Adam, the success of a homemade bomb depends on how strong it is, where it is placed in a vehicle, which direction the blast itself is concentrated. All play the part of the survivability of its victim. Well said, Michael. And it is.
I agree 1,000%, Michael. You're right on.
Okay. Let's back to his flipping. It was up for grabs once the big guys got pinched. They were willing to take out anyone who could convict them. Lefty could sink all of them with his knowledge of the skim, and Frank thought he did flip. Who knows? Chris,
the damage was already done.
Chris Edmondson. Okay, it was the bikers in California. Jerry McGee, she ran off with the bikers, the safety deposit box, the money. They were getting low on the money. Let's kill Lefty, and you could collect his life insurance. That's a theory. It is a theory, but it's highly unlikely.
But I
highly unlikely. It's as unlikely as Tony Spilatro did it because he was sleeping with Lefty's wife and he wanted her all to himself. I mean, it's. Is it possible? I guess anything's possible, but it just doesn't seem like that would be John Don A. Light. I'm surprised old Iupa let Lefty off the hook. Yeah.
He
I
couldn't
mean,
do anything. He was in prison. He was locked up. What's he going to do? They
I
don't
bet somebody
give orders from jail.
paid dearly for the botched hit attempt. Well, I mean, if you're told to, I don't know. Okay, Bobby Bag of Donuts. People I knew were working at the Stardust at the time and said the movie was about 35% accurate. See, then Red and I have this discussion as to how
I
accurate
agree.
this movie is. We disagree about it because I think that the movie is more accurate than
Adam
what Red.
said 95% of it's true, and I said no way.
There's a lot of truths in it to the story. I mean, there's a lot of truths to it. I mean, right down to the spitting in the sandwich when they spit in the cop's sandwich at the restaurant and they serve it to the police.
It turned
Frank-
out to be a newscaster that they spit in his sandwich.
Ned Day, right. And they used to spit in Ned Day's food over at the upper crust. Leo Gardino used to do it. And
But it wasn't the police. It wasn't the police. It was a newscaster.
Okay, Don Ciccio. I know for a fact that in the Eldo convertibles, they had to add steel plates to compensate for the lack of a roof and stiffen it up. I'll buy that. I mean, sure.
That's what mine was. Mine was a 75 Eldorado convertible. But I never looked underneath it.
Benedict Mastriani. I would think the police investigating would show what was found from Cat Bomb. Maybe it's available to the public with the Freedom of Information Act. Maybe, but it was definitely a remote detonate. That was one thing. The investigators did find pieces of a receiver in the wreckage.
And it went to the gas tank.
Okay, Slapsy, Little Caesars in Vegas, the biggest sports book in Vegas, was near a casino, not in a casino. That was my understanding that they were all their own buildings and that Lefty integrated them and brought the sports book inside the casino. That's what I've heard. I don't know. Only the 57 Eldorado Brougham had a steel plate under the driver's seat because of the brain box. James Albright. Was that what you were talking about, Red? The brain box the other about the switch?
Yes.
Remember the seat controls? Okay, that box?
Right.
That's I think what you're talking about.
Where you can set your seating setting.
John McShane, I think it speaks to his code name also. The mob, Achilles' heel, has always been money. Look at Greg Scarpa, Ron Previtt, and John Rubio.
I agree, John. I think what they named him. And Adam said he was going to talk to Dennis Arnoldy about it. But I think the FBI named him. As a matter of fact, Adam asked me what my code name was.
That's what Dennis said. That's what he told us. I'm saying, so did Slapsy Maxie, she did threaten to go to the FBI. I'm not buying it, man, that the bikers did it. I can't buy it was the bikers. It was two guys from Kansas City mob that blew up the car, and it wasn't the first time that they screwed up a job, according to Bobby Bag of Donuts. Outfit boss, Johnny Russo. Okay. Bob Custer, the two Tonys were hit by Jimmy the Weasel because they robbed the Flamingo Sportsbook in 1951.
Another case.
That's something totally off topic here, but okay. When and if Frank had a bowl of Wheaties at the Stardust, did he pour skim milk over them? Skim milk. Red.
I don't know.
When Frank Rosenthal had a bowl of Wheaties at the Stardust, did he pour skim milk over them?
No idea.
Because it is skim. It's a pun, Red. Oh my God. Go on to the next.
Skim milk. Okay, there we go, Adam.
Unbelievable.
Right over my head.
Unbelievable. I don't know how. And these people sit and listen to this. Who found Spilatro and his brother, Jimbo? The farmer did. The farmer noticed his ground was disturbed about a week. I think it was 7 days, 6 or 7 days after they buried him. And that's when the farmer saw it. And he thought, ooh, somebody's been digging out here. Probably some poachers buried some carcasses. So he called out the gaming warden. The gaming warden is who found him. So technically, the gaming warden. So, thanks, John. Don Chich. There's a lot of intermingled. There's a lot of true stories intermingled in all of Scorsese's movies.
That's
It's
what I
true.
was saying. There are.
It's true, yes, sure.
He's a very creative, good entertainer. He creates entertainment for us.
Right now, the book gets a lot. It gets into a whole lot more than
It's totally different to the movie, too. Huh.
Yeah, and it actually, the book is probably more accurate than, because I mean, you got all the right names, you have all the players, you have all the stories. Yeah. What is this? Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Did they talk about skim milk in there?
Speaking, what's that?
Do they talk about Wheaties and skim milk in there?
No, they don't talk about Wheaties and skim milk.
Francie Brady, that butcher boy.
Yeah, Don Cheech. Hey, Carmine definitely left. Today, Red left. All right. Not home. Not here today. Oh, wow. The guy that ordered the bomb had to be ordered to do so by Joey Aiuppa or somebody in connect with him. Not if it was Kansas
City. He didn't have to be. He did not have to be. Kansas City might have done it on their own. Joey Aiuppa was in prison. He was in jail.
David White, Batista's Hole in the Wall. It has nothing to do with the Hole in the Wall gang. And I think the food's a little salty there. I mean, it's nice atmosphere. They got a little squeeze box guy that goes around, plays the squeeze box for tips, like a little accordion thing. Anyway, it's okay. But really, if you want to get some really good
Is it a concertina?
What is it? A what?
Squeeze box concertina?
It was hexagon.
It's a little squeeze box. It's not an accordion. It's a concertina.
Oh, it wasn't an accordion.
It's a concertina.
Concertina. That's the name of it?
Yes.
Okay. Concertina. So yeah, that's what anyway, that's the old guy plays the thing. But if you want really good food,
Italian.
Go to Nora's, go to Piero's. Piero's is really expensive. Nora's is, middle of the road. Those are really good in Vegas. Capo's is pretty good too. I like Capo's. I think Lefty was basically an odds maker who found great success in Vegas that aided the Chicago mob with the skim, but Lefty felt the presence of Tony Spilatro. He felt the presence of Tony Spilatro, meaning, I don't understand what that means, Michael. Frank Cullotta role. Well, you got Frank Cullotta playing himself in the movie as well. I mean, he recreates a murder that he did in real life. It's the only time that's ever happened in a movie before. So.
I got a kick out of how that happened. He was sitting there and he said, "Oh no, it wasn't done like that." And he said, "Show me how it was done." And so he told him, he said, "You're fired. Frank, get up there and do it."
All right. Accardo gave the job to Kansas City. Could have been James Kearns. Forget about it. Hey, he's over there now. Carmine left. Big Tuna. Lefty was not a made guy, so the order could come from any other mob family. There you go. Lefty was not a made guy, so any family could have put the hit out on him. Got to be careful around here. You get the FBTBB treatment. The Francis Brady, that butcher boy. That's funny.
Anthony,
wanted to take the heat off of Chicago. Bobby Bag of Donuts saying, which again, they don't want any more heat than they need. So why not? I'm surprised that there's a statue of Tony Spilatro's in Vegas at Oscar's restaurant. You're surprised there's a statue of Tony Spilatro at Vegas at Oscar's restaurant. There's a statue of Oscar Goodman.
I'm surprised they have two statues of him, one with Oscar and one by himself.
Well, they put the one up in the park. I drove past it night before last. I went out and looked at it. It's in the park right next to the historic 5th Street School. So, and Oscar, when he was mayor, he went to an elementary school once, and they kids asked him what his hobbies were, and he told them drinking martinis. And now he's got a statue of him holding a martini up right in front of the elementary school in town. You couldn't write it; it writes
That's
itself.
his trademark. That's his trademark.
Mama's got a squeeze box. Daddy never sleep at night. Yeah, I remember that. What about Milwaukee? What about Milwaukee, Red?
I don't know. There were rumors about that, but you know, I like I said, I listened to Gary Jenkins' undercover tapes that he got a hold of and released, and it seemed like I think the guy's name was Augusto. He found out that he was an informant. He suspected, and he told the members of Kansas City that he was an informant. So I suspect him more than anybody. I don't know what went on in Milwaukee. I really don't.
Yeah. Yes, it was that old guy, and he played there 40 years ago. Don Cheech. We're talking about the guy with, what's it called again? The name of the
Constantina.
Constantina. So he played Constantina, and yes, Bobby Bag or Sonny Zarro. Did he have monkey? I remember seeing a monkey on his shoulder, a little monkey, while he played the Constantina, and that was probably at least 12 years ago that I was there and saw him. So
very Italian, very
I don't
Italian.
know if
The Constantina is an Italian instrument, and very well known for it. And the monkey is like the organ grinder with the monkey. Years ago, they used to have.
Right. Chris Edmondson, if Kansas ordered the hit, Lefty would have been toast. It was the bikers. Again, back to the bikers. I don't buy it was the bikers. I got to disagree with you on that one.
I'm sorry, Chris. I don't agree with you.
Yeah. You know what we're going to do? We're going to vote in a few minutes. We're going to throw a vote as to who everybody thinks it is. Huh? What about that?
I agree.
Because did Frank ever work for another family? James, as far as I know, no. He was only with the Chicago outfit. Or isn't that right?
No,
Fred?
he did not.
Right?
He didn't even work with another crew.
He was in Miami, but Frank B was quite a bomber on his own. Frank Ballestieri. Willie Massino. Oh, shoot. Who babysat a Cardo's monkey? It was Willie Massino who babysat a Cardo's monkey. Willie used to tell that back to
everybody.
Yeah. Frank told that.
He told to everybody.
So many people dislike Lefty. There must have been a line to build the car bomb. Street stories. Organ grinder. Now we're back to Dahmer again. See how this show goes? We go from one thing to the next. The Lefty bomb investigation was not thorough. The Lefty bomb investigation.
Yeah, he means thorough.
Yeah, he
and I believe that's an accurate statement.
Okay, so the as far as I remember hearing, it was he never asked for an inquiry into the investigation after it happened. So, by the way, I can say it now. I did NBC. John Smith, thanks so much for that super sticker. Nice of you to do that, buddy. Thank you. I saw the old man with the monkey on his shoulder playing the concertina in the Strip in front of a hotel in 1998 when I got married in Vegas. He's been around here a long time. Yeah. I think I worked with him in Beecher's Madhouse. I'm almost positive that he was the old guy came with the monkey to the show, but I could be mistaken about that. It could be a different monkey guy. I think the Lefty felt the presence of Tony Spilotro was a disruption, so it made it easier for Lefty to become an informant. Gotcha. Now I understand what you're saying here. Possibly, but from what my understanding,
he was an informant before then.
He was way back
before then.
Yeah, way back in
1978.
60. You said 60.
78. Yeah, in 60, 64, 65.
He pled no contest in 63 for bribing the New York University player to shave points for a college basketball game in North Carolina. So, and suspected in car bomb.
1964. that he became an informant.
Okay. The outfit wanted Lefty dead the most. They probably had an open hit on him. Red's 100% correct, according to Bob Bag of Donuts. Let's remember one thing here, guys. Tony Spilatra was protecting Lefty. So without Tony, Lefty was open to anyone wanting to come after him. That's true. He was supposed to be watching over the Golden Goose. Correct? Red? Did I lose you? You look like you froze up. Red is frozen.
I froze up for a second there.
There you are, yeah. Okay, you having a moment? You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, so that's the truth. Tony was protecting Lefty, right? Red.
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you look at Lefty's car, you can tell it was a weak bomb.
It was. Yeah, the gasoline did more of the flames and everything, the explosion.
Well,
1 gallon of gas, 1 gallon of gas is equal to 12 sticks of dynamite.
Okay. That's
And basically it was flames.
Michael Graham, I think it was 1971 to be exact when Tony got to town. Police suspect.
That's accurate. That's very accurate. Tony came in 1971 to Las Vegas.
Okay, James Albright. Police suspected Frank Ballestieri via a wiretap because of casino financial problems.
They did. That's a fact. They did suspect him.
Mad attack. They probably got a new guy to plant the bomb to take the blame if caught. He was inexperienced and botched it. That's a theory, Matt. I mean, could have been. Bob Custer, for example, bomb material has tag coding inside that tells the location and date of manufacture. Over 18 months from 71 to 72, the FBI investigated over 2,500 bombings. Whew. That's a lot.
They should have brought in the ATF.
Holy cow, man. No, seriously, 2,500 bombings.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hands in until the skimming. Yes, they'd be accountable to Chicago above everyone else. Follow the money. Who would stand to lose because Lefty couldn't run the casinos? Brew City. Okay, Brew City. Haven't heard from you in a minute. Personally, I think all the family bosses, KC, Chicago, MLK, Cleveland, agreed to kill Lefty. Who was tasked to do the bombings is anyone's guess.
That's a pretty good idea, Bruce City.
Those Cadillacs were built tough then. Took more explosives. C4 would work. John Quillett. Adam, why
Before
don't you
you know it, it's going to be an atomic bomb.
No, I'm serious, right? C4, man. You got to step C4 to. Okay, how I knew Frank Cullotta, and tell the stories he told you and how he was as a person. I actually just outlined a book, John. I outlined 2 books according to my wife. So it's going to happen. Marquette Gloves. It's a new name. Evidence-wise, it's overwhelmingly Frank Ballestieri and Milwaukee. Man, do we have a lot of
different opinions.
Hey, the car had its whole rear end blown off, Sonny said. And Don Cheech, I wonder if it was just a warning. Big chance to take for a message. I've never thought of that, Don. Have you ever thought that? That didn't even run through my head.
If it was a remote control, they would have blew it up before he got there. Not after he got in it.
That would have been a warning. Yeah, that's true. I don't think they would have. That's a big chance to take it. Unless it was a small bomb that boom and started the car on fire. He gets out of the car, kaboom goes the tank, and that's how the roof gets all smashed up.
Now, I've seen warnings. I have seen warnings. Let me address this, Adam. I've seen warnings where people have taken, what do they call these, flares, and taped them together like they were dynamite and put them in there with a blasting cap and everything else, all the timing devices and everything else, and they'd find it. And that's a warning.
Jimbo, if you don't like the show, you don't have to watch it from the Mad Attack. Take it. My friend Frank, Saint to Sinner. I like that. I was going to do Mobster to Minister. Was an idea. Bombings were allegedly outlawed by Cosa Nostra in this country, unlike the Sicilian Mafia and perhaps rogue mob associates. I don't know. Semtex is way better than C4. Now we're to Semtex. Look at this,
I
Red.
told you before we know it, we're going to be at the Atomic Bomb.
Oh my gosh. They didn't get Lefty, but they got Tony and his brother, and who else? Let's face it, there's a reason for killing anyone and everyone involved in the outfit. It's a dangerous business. Damn, yes. So go to the description down below, check out the link to the video, and you can see the page where we found this. And they take apart this automobile and they don't find the metal plate. There's no metal plate.
I don't believe that was a Cadillac.
No, I'm okay. All right. Hold on. Now I've got to look this up. So I'm going to show you the pictures of this. I'm going to try and, oh my gosh, I'm going to try and do this.
I like Jim McNafee's comment here.
What's his comment?
Regardless
of who it was, if he would have been found out in left field. There'd have been nothing left of Lefty. There'd be little pieces of
left field. Lefty, left field.
Found out in left field, yeah. They'd done it right, yeah, sure. But they didn't. That's the fact. So, okay, here it is. Come on. Switch accounts. Unbelievable. I have the wrong window open. Okay, so Red, they didn't get Lefty. They got Tony's brother. Okay, let me get some more comments. The show stayed on point. Amazing. I know, yeah. Jimbo, loved the show. Oh, so you were just saying it was Fugazi because you were being funny. Was the Clintons involved in the casino skim? Could have been, right? Red. Joke.
Yeah, the mob let him in. They said, oh, we're going to let Bill Clinton in.
An auto engineer wrote a post with diagrams. He said, no metal plate, more movie dramatization. There you go. There you go. There's no metal plate. I'm telling you guys that. So it's kind of funny that's gone around for so long. Oh, hold on. We got a call in here. Give me just a second.
Okay.
I tell a story about the haircut with him?
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. We got Joe Cullotta called in here. So, go ahead, Joe.
I met Lefty twice. He came by where I worked at by Igor's hair salon in Chicago. He came in with Tony, probably in the middle 70s or about 73 or 74. Tony brought him. So the first time he comes in with Tony, Tony says, Joe, this is my friend Frank. He needs a haircut. So I take the hair dryer, I blow the seat off so that there's no hair on there. And he says, no. He says, take a wet towel, wipe the chair, then take a dry towel and wipe it dry. I look at the guy like he's nuts. I'm thinking, who the fuck is this? Who is this guy? I'm thinking, I know Tony's a McGaffer, but I don't know what this guy is. And so I says, no, it's clean. You could sit down. He goes, no, I want you to take a wet towel and then a dry towel, and then I'll sit down in the chair. And he kind of arrogant guy, So Tony says, Joey, do me a favor. Do like he says for me, please. I go, okay, Tony. So I wiped the chair with a wet towel and dry towel, and I cut his hair. But the guy was a fanatic, like it showed in the movie with the blueberries. The guy was very OCD. But that's one of my stories about Lefty.
I was going to ask Joe. Joe, would you classify him as a prima donna?
I think it was.
Would I classify him as a prima donna?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
That's what I did.
That guy could not go to jail. I'll tell you that right now. It'd be rough for him to go to a hotel without a manicurist.
Oh my God.
That's the kind of guy he was.
Wow.
But anyhow.
Oh, thanks.
That's one of my stories about Lefty from when he came by Igor's hair salon where I worked at.
And
Thank you, Joe.
One time. Pardon?
thanks so much
Thank
for the
you.
story.
That's okay, buddy.
We're everybody. We're going to be doing these little shorts, Joe and I, called Barbershop Confidential. And now that the tours are slowing down, and I'm having more time, we're going to get these. We're going to sit down and make these soon. So they'll be coming up, guys.
Yeah, I got a lot of stories. I'm not going to hurt anybody with them. They'll be mostly funny stories.
Yeah, funny, cool little anecdotes about the different guys that came in and out of Igor's shop, which is going to be pretty interesting.
Some of the sayings that were said in there. Nothing bad. There was nothing bad done there or said there, but just some funny stories. But anyhow, I'll let you guys go back to your show about Lefty.
Hey, thanks so much, Joe. I always love hearing from you.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye now.
Okay. All right,
Good to
guys.
hear from you.
Well, nice way to wrap up the show today, having Joe on and Red. It's been fun. I think we had a good time, and I
had a great.
One last thing, Red.
Take the poll about how many people think it was this. How many people?
Hold on. Here it is. Okay. You guys, let me share this. You guys go and check this out. It's in the description down below. It's in the description. And I'm going to share my screen over here and share. I'll share the audio too. Okay. So this is what I got that I found. So let me take the comments off the screen so I can make it as big as possible. Okay, there we go. So everybody can see as much as possible here. See all 4 pictures. This is them taking that car. That's the exact car, okay, from the movie, same year. They cut the seats out. Mythbusters, Motor Mythbusters is the name of this show. And I'm telling you, they cut this damn thing. There's no plates. So who knows? Anyway, you guys feel free to read through the article yourselves. And it's like I said, it's in the link down below. It has been a great, great fun time today, Red. But hey, it's time to go read your book over on your channel. So you have a great
over my channel.
Yeah, great rest of your day. And great rest of your day, guys. Enjoy. It's been fun. Mob Vlog. See you next time, Red.